businessman. Oh, okay, very nice. We forgot to record, didn't we? Anyways, okay. So I'll just try to just quickly cover things up, like what we talked about, just for the sake of the recording. So we talked what's entrepreneurship. We looked at this heading, this definition, that it's an activity of setting up a business or multiple businesses. And then we talked about how is it different from a business. We talked that business and entrepreneurship, it doesn't make sense to, having a difference in these two words, because entrepreneurship is the activity of setting up businesses, and business is being defined as a organization that's providing opportunities to people. So yeah, we what we talked about, by the way, was that the difference lies between an entrepreneur and a businessman. And the main difference was the entrepreneur comes up with a new idea, and he or she takes a lot of risks, because they are coming up with something that's totally new for a market that they haven't seen. So it's like really, really hard to convince people that this is something new that you have never used and it has never existed, but now you need it. However, businessman is like, working on some already existing idea on some already existing market. So it is like much less in risks. So yeah, that's what we talked about here. I'll just give one example of Knowfly, how we were a business before, and how we are now, like the people that's running Knowfly right now are not, a businessman anymore. So yeah, Knowfly, as we know it, of about it right now, is actually, it's releasing products, ad tech products. It's releasing an app and websites. We are trying to do something that's totally new, that have never existing. Many people right now are confused, like what is even Knowfly and what do they even do? So what we are trying to actually do is, we are making an app where you can, find live courses, live workshops. You can even host yours and get paid for it. You can participate in competitions in it. You can um, take part in social events in it. It's sort of like insider community, but much more exclusive and everything. Uh, and it's everything in an app. So that's what we are trying to build here. The reason why it's totally new is because even if you try to remember or try to think about it, you have platforms like Udemy, Coursera, and all Skillshare and all these platforms. But the most common thing about them is that they all of them actually just have recorded courses, right? All of them have recorded courses. There are no sort of live courses, like live classes happening in them at all. So that's what we tried to change. We actually, thought that, the purpose of learning is more about having that human touch, having, those live classes, interacting with people, interacting with teachers, interacting with other students, trying to build things together. That whole process is actually what education is mainly for. So just watching recorded courses is super boring, and it's like not so interesting. Many people even lose their interest when they buy a course. So basically, that's what we were trying to change. We are trying to become the first ever platform that's going to, be a subscription based platform that will provide live courses and other sorts of events. Anyways, this is our present, and let's talk about our past. What was Knowfly? So Knowfly was once called Usher's Academy. It was named after me, obviously. And what we used to do was, we used to actually provide teaching services. Like we used to just hold workshops, people used to buy them, and we just used to teach them. So uh, we can some sort, like, if you really think about it, does business like these exist already, where you pay them and you learn some skills and you attend these courses like 1 or 2 months, and that's it. Obviously business like these exist a lot, right? So at that time, Knowfly was very different. It was called Assurance Academy, and it was more like an academy, right? Now it's totally different. And um, so I have a question now, by the way. Okay, so I just told you about Knowfly's present. I just have a question. What do you guys think? Is Knowfly being run by entrepreneurs now or business? And the reason for explaining all those things were actually to ask you this question and to see if you guys actually remember what I just told you about the difference. Okay, awesome. I would like to see some more answers, please. Okay, awesome. Everybody's answering entrepreneur. Yeah, awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Okay, so let's talk something more. Let's try to actually dive into the topic and try to discuss some practical things. Okay, so should a person even, start a company? Like, should you start a company ever? And to answer this question, we really need to look what it's like starting a company. And I'll also, bust a lot of myths because people think it's really, like the image people have of entrepreneur and of entrepreneurs and entrepreneurship is like very different from the reality. So I'll try to boost a lot of myths, but let's be positive a little bit, and let's try to actually first be positive and talk about the benefits of starting a company. So the first benefit is you actually are working towards something that's extremely exciting. For example, if you really think about it, what's the most exciting job in the world? Is it not directly impacting people's life for better? Like, what's better than actually, doing something for, for making other people's life better? If you really think about it, the impact, the happiness those people will have, how things will be better. Okay, so sleeping. Yeah. So okay, then we can we can say improving people's life is the second best thing after sleeping. Anyways, so yeah. Uh, so you are actually, working towards a true purpose, and you are super passionate thing about this thing that you are working on. It's not like a job that you just have to show up for and you have to do it because you have responsibilities at home and you have to earn and you have to, you know, uh, be something because other peoples are expecting things from you. It's something you are truly doing for yourself. It's like super exciting every day of your life. You are super stressed, but you are also, very happy and very excited about the day. um I hope my co-founders also feel that way. Okay, so okay, none of them are here. Okay, sorry. Anyways, but yeah, that's one of the benefit, that the job itself of being an entrepreneur is like super exciting. You are doing something new that the world haven't ever seen, and you are actually truly impacting people's life for better. That's the first thing. Second thing is you can work on your own rules. Like for example, you can work in a t-shirt and a pajama if you want. You can work whole night instead of whole day. So the rules are actually made by you yourself. And I'll try to bust a myth upon this thing in a bit, but yeah, you are actually working on your own rules. Nobody is actually, putting rules on you. That's exciting as well. Um, it's a bit actually, relief. It's like a relief that you get in your heart. Okay, so yeah, that are the two very big benefits. Third thing is, you're actually on a journey that's going to truly, make you learn things, learn life lessons that that would otherwise take decades to learn. So, entrepreneurship, in other words, is like doing a job, but doing it 10 times faster in the timeline. You are actually doing uh, so many things at once. You are learning so many things at once that, you learn so much about yourself, other people, uh, about running a company, about running a business, about how things are in the world. Like, it's like super, exciting. You learn so much. So if you are somebody who loves learning new things, entrepreneurship is like really, really great. Okay, so that's about learning. One benefit that I would like to mention at the last, but I will Mr. I'll just, would not focus so much on it, is that you actually get to earn good money, but there's a lot of things associated with it as well that I'll answer in a bit. But yeah, so these are the four benefits that you can currently think of for starting a company. Okay, yeah, there's another one, the fifth one, which is you are actually, on a journey that's going to make you the best version of yourself. Running a company or starting a company is so hard that it will force you to become the best version of yourself. It will, make you think so much about yourself, how you can make things more efficient, how you can make yourself more efficient, more healthy, and how you can treat other people's well, how you can deal with negative and toxic people. So, it's like it's it's like a journey, like a personal journey as well. You learn so much about yourself, and you are always trying to be better, which is not the case, otherwise. Like, very few people who are working jobs or who are students actually are, thinking about being better all the time. But as an entrepreneur, you have to think about it all the time. Like, you are always like, how can I be better? How can I be better? You are never satisfied with your current condition. So yeah, those are the benefits. Can you guys tell me if I'm going too fast, or you guys can understand me well? Can can you
No,
guys
we can
please tell?
understand it well.
Okay. I'm okay. So my speed is fine, right? Okay, you are fine. Can other people tell as well? Yumna, Zishan, Shariar, Sandia, if I'm not pronouncing it wrong. Saeed, Rehan, Laipa. Okay, so we have two Huda. Okay, all good. Awesome. Thank you guys. Okay, so yeah, that's all about the benefits. And now let's talk about the myths, because there are like so many myths. When you search entrepreneur on Google or entrepreneurship on Google, what you will see is a Ferrari and this man with a, black coat, and he's like wearing sunglasses, and he's like super rich, and people are on yachts, and life is so great. But it's actually nothing like that in reality. So let's, talk about all the myths one by one. Google says अपनी गाड़ी निकाली. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, the first one is you will get super rich super quick, and that's the biggest lie. I won't say that you won't get rich, but So if you look at the data of successful startups, there's actually only 1% startups in the world that actually get successful. And by successful, I mean, the founders get to make any sort of good money at all. So that's one thing. And the second thing is, if you truly look at the amount of effort you put building a company, in building a company versus the effort you will put in a job, it's much quicker to make money and much easier to make money from a job than from building a company, right? So yeah, this whole get rich quick scheme is totally not uh about starting a company. If you will start a company thinking you will make a lot of money, and then trust me, you will just lose all the motivation within an year, and you will close it, and yeah, life is going to be very bad. But yeah, so if you are ever starting a company, only do it if you have passion for it, or if your friend is starting a company and is calling you as a co-founder, please only do it if you are excited about the learning part of it, and for actually if you are actually passionate about the idea. If not, please don't do it. You are just going to waste the most crucial years of your life. So yeah, that's the first myth. Okay, so what else you guys have heard about entrepreneurship? Like, what nice things? The second thing we always heard is that you can always work on your own time. Okay, so this is a very interesting thing, and I want you guys to listen to this very carefully. Okay, so this whole thing about working from 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. till 5 a.m. is not because it's so evil, or it's a like a rat race that these companies want their employees to do or to run on. It's actually the most efficient time that you can work on, if I'm being totally honest with you. So what I'm trying to say here, if you hate your job just because you have to work from 9 a.m. till 5 p.m., trust me, you will hate starting a company much more. It's been like 5 years and I've been working at least 12 hours a day for Knowfly and for Assure's Academy, and then before it was a society, and like since the beginning I've been working 12 plus hours. So and what I've discovered is, I was like, okay, even if I have to work 12 hours a day, I'll actually, work at any time I want. I can start my work at 1 p.m. I can start my work at 5 p.m. Whenever I want. But what I slowly discovered was there is a very specific reason to actually have the time to wake up at 8 a.m. and go start your work at 9 a.m. and finish it by 5 p.m. and then continuing with your non-work part of your life. And the reason for this is because it's one of the best ways to actually balance your life to have good health. Most people think that companies are like very evil, and that's why they make their employees work 9 to 5, and it's so like bad and all that stuff. But trust me, it's not. It's not. It's totally, this whole 9 to 5 thing is actually better for your own self. Um so yeah, uh that's one thing. But the again, the point is not to get demotivated. But if you think you will actually relax and make lots of easy money by starting a company, yeah, please don't start one. So yeah, that's one myth. That's one popular myth. So let me know if you guys have heard anything about it. Any more myths that you guys want to ask me about? Okay, I'll just go over your chat. Um, 25 days. Okay. Uh, I'll let me mention this. Yeah, this is true as well. If you're ever doing something just for money, it's never going to be sustainable in the long run. Exactly. Passion, determination, motivation. Oh my God. This sounds so boomer, isn't it? Passion, determination. And we used to be like, we used to be like so different when we were kids. Okay. Yeah. Usher finally realizing how exhausting it is to take care of his kids. Oh yes. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yes. One thing that now Ariba has mentioned is, one of the most biggest reasons people hate corporate is actually, the politics that goes on, the unfairness and all that stuff. It's again a myth because when you come in the startup world, what you will see is people cheating on you. People will promise you money and they won't pay you. Like if I just talk about how much money I have on people pending, it's more than like uh $1,000 or $2,000 at this point. Like people promise me, okay, we will pay, and I'm like, okay, I trust you, you're a good person, and yeah, and then they don't, and then they just run away, and they block your number and all that stuff. And about the politics, okay, yeah. So it isn't so bad in the politics side of things because you are running your own company and there's nobody that's actually being unfair to you. But when you have competitors, that's some sort of politics there because you have to actually, play tricks, and also they will play tricks on you. So it's like really bad at that point. But yeah, that's one thing. Anyways, so yeah, these were all the myths that I had in my mind. Yep. Anyways, okay. So let's talk about how to start your own company now. And what it takes to start your own company and what you should have in mind when you are starting one. Okay. Um, okay. Said, this is like a really, really good question that you have asked, and I'll talk about this at the end. Uh, just please remind me if I don't answer it. Okay, starting your company, the most important key factors. Let's say now, let's imagine you are trying to build a company, you have got a really good idea in your mind, and now you want to start off a company out of it. Okay, I'll actually go over these points. So the first thing that comes in your mind is, should I go solo on this idea or should I have co-founders? That's the first thing you will ever have in my mind. I have this great idea, should I go solo or should I have co-founders? Okay. So in my 5 years of proper entrepreneurship journey, I think the initial phase of it was solo. And I recommend going solo at least in the start, because, even though, it sucks, you have to work so much more. You will stress yourself so much more. It's actually, good to realize why you need other people at the first point, because if you don't actually realize why you need others and why you cannot do everything on your own, and how it's going to kill your business if you don't actually take help from other people, then you are not going to actually respect your co-founders. And I have personally experienced this. There was a time when I started something and I just had so many co-founders and it wasn't a very great experience. So I'll always recommend you, when you have a new idea, first try to go solo. Try to explore things around it, try to build things. If you don't know the technical side of things, learn it. It's okay, it's going to take maybe 6 months or full dedication. Starting a company is all about dedication. Okay, so like, and just think about stuff like this as well. Like if you cannot learn to code for your own idea, why would why would a coder, or why would some other programmer even invest their time in your company if you aren't even convinced yourself to learn coding for it, and to build some sort of website for it yourself first. So if you don't have that dedication in you, then others obviously won't have it. You have to be the most dedicated person in your company. when it's your idea. So yeah, go solo at first. Try to figure things out. If things work well, then you have 100% of the company. That's good. If things do not go well and you now realize that why you cannot actually, run a company being alone, then have co-founders and truly trust them and respect them. So in my own personal journey, I had been a solo founder of Knowfly for about a year. I'll say, yeah, for about a year and a half. And at first it was really good, but as I was progressing, things started to go on a downfall. My customer service was becoming really bad. I got so busy with other things that I was not able to get the time to reply to other people, and I could not manage so many things. It was becoming so bad. So then I realized, okay, I need other people with me if I want to do this for longer term. So yeah, I decided to have co-founders in Knowfly, and I have this amazing team that I'm so proud of and so happy to have. They help me every single day, and every single day I'm, happy about my decision. But it's because when I was solo, I totally, really realized why I needed these people. So please, try to realize things first. Second thing that's really important is ideas in testing. The biggest mistake and the biggest reason for a failure of a startup or a company is because people just, try to implement their ideas because they think it's good. See, you know, the very first lesson you would need to know is, as an entrepreneur, is you are not the world. And especially when you are a teenager or when you are young, you think you are everything. You are like a really big deal in this world. You'll do this and that. But you have this really high expectation of yourself, and you think you are like you are like a bomb. But as your life goes on and as you become older and older, you realize you are nothing. Like, as your age goes on, the more you realize that you are actually less and less and less important, and the world does not revolves around you. So the idea you had is great in a mind, in one single mind. Or maybe if you have discussed it with your friends, it's maybe really good in minds of 100 people. But a company is not run by, having 100 customers. People, most of the friends you will have will just say you have a great idea because they are your friends and they do not want to discourage you. So, you actually have to test your ideas. You have to, gather some data. You have to gather unbiased data. And how will you do that? I'll also talk about this in the testing part of section. But first, you have to realize that the ideas, no matter how great they are, you actually have to test them, collect data about them, and then actually, try to execute them and make a company around it. Okay, so let's talk about the fact that how we actually test our ideas. So the biggest problem with testing your ideas is you do not want to get your idea out. You do not want to share your idea with strangers, right? So how do you test things up? So just remember this. If you want to write this thing up, write it. You never actually tell your idea. What you do is you tell the problems you think people are facing, and let's say you make a Google form and you will write down all the problems that you think people are facing in today's world. Like, are you facing problem with this particular task? Are you facing this problem in this particular process? Are you facing this problem in your life? You'll just make a Google form and list out all the problems that you think people are facing, and then you will have it like MCQs of some sort, not MCQs but multiple choices, Like, do they strongly disagree? Do they disagree? Do they agree? Are they neutral about it, or they strongly are they strongly agreeing on this? So once you have this Google form, now this way you have just listed out the problems that people know they are facing, right? And you haven't actually put out your idea, right? So now you'll just actually, have some data, some true data to actually realize that if your idea is worth making a company about or not. Okay, now the second part is, okay, I have made this Google form and it's so cool and I have wrote down all the problems. Now the thing is, how do I actually get people to fill it? So the first rule that you need to remember is, if you are sharing that form with your friends, do not tell them that it's for you. Tell them it's some stranger who wants to, start a company. Tell them that, you know, like it's just some random guy, right? And ask them to fill that form and truly get the unbiased opinion of them. They'll tell, okay, I agree with this, I do not agree with this, okay, I strongly disagree with this, and all that stuff. Do not tell them it's for your own research or for your own idea, or they might get become biased. Second thing to do is actually start ask strangers. How to ask strangers? Asking people about filling a survey form on Facebook or on Instagram is really bad. It's really fishy, and people might block you. So it's much better to do it on LinkedIn. There's a platform called LinkedIn. If you haven't heard about it, we have even done a whole workshop on it, which like we have a recording available on our Facebook group as well. If you want to watch it. So just go on to LinkedIn, make a really good profile on it. Again, we have a workshop on how to do it, but then reach out to strangers, just message strangers. Okay, I have this survey. It will just take a minute. Can you please solve it? And all that stuff. Okay, now once you do that, some people will act like 10% of the people that you will ask will actually fill it, but you will have a lot of idea. So yeah. Okay, now the third thing is execution is actually the most important thing. Okay, I'll tell this with a story. I'll tell this with a story. I know this teacher. He's like so good, and he's like really innovative. He has a really innovative mind. He always have the greatest ideas. And I'm also always watching that he's trying to come up with so many new things. Like I remember he was the first one to introduce a proper app where you could watch his lectures and others could upload their lectures and get paid from it and all that stuff, right? So what I have been noticing about him is, even though his idea is really good, like his ideas are always so really good, but the way he executes those ideas are so bad that I can't even tell you. Like the design of the app is like extremely bad. And one thing that he doesn't realize is that, when you are actually catering people our age who are like around 20 or teenagers, we design actually matter a lot to us. We truly want to feel excited about the app we will use. Obviously studying is like obviously boring, so the least you can do is make that app look exciting. When they open that app, they feel something, personal, they feel good about it, and they are like in awe, and they are like, damn man, this app is so cool, it's designed so well you know so the first problem I had been noticing about him is his apps are like so badly designed. Second thing is about his execution is, he's focusing on so many things. He's like implementing so many ideas at once, and things never work that way. Always remember that you need to focus on one thing at a time. When you're building a product, just focus on one thing. Even if you have like 1,000 great ideas, think which one is the one that you believe in the most, and then implement it. Even if it's going to fail, it's going to fail, but put all your effort and all your thinking into one thing at a time. Now what he is doing is he's actually putting out 4 or 5 things at once. And the problem with that is you cannot provide consistent good customer service or value in 5 things alone. Or even if, like, even if you think about it, Twitter is a simple app, right? It lets you tweet, it lets you post things, and that's it. Um, and you get to connect with other people. But there's like, it's just one idea, it's just one product, right? It's like $1 billion company, and there are like thousands of employees in it and all that stuff. So a single idea can be huge, but having 4 or 5 ideas at once isn't really a good thing to do. So that's the second blunder I see him making. And third thing is he's never consistent at it. Again, as I said, he had these two really good ideas. He tried doing marketing on it for like about an year. I was just, silently watching him. And then after a year, he realized, okay, it's not working. Then he came up with this another new idea, another new app. Now he's pushing it, and again the same mistakes. So yeah, you have to be consistent with one thing. If it's not working in the first year,
Yeah.
it's totally normal. Oh, okay. Somebody's mic is actually opened. Okay. Anyways, so thinking that my idea will work in the very first year is like really stupid, to be honest. You have to put in at least 5 years into something. And you will see a lot of examples like Oprah, like, the writer of Harry Potter. She was rejected so many times, J.K. Rowling, like so many other people, even this company Airbnb, they were getting rejected, and it's now $1 billion company. So a lot of people get rejected for their initial phase a lot, and it's totally fine. You just have to keep believing in it, and you just have to keep going in it. If you will just give up in an year, then there's no point in even doing it at the first place. And that is again why, because there is a very thin line in living in delusion, and in actually believing in your product. Because if you really have a really bad idea and you are just living in a delusion that it's really good, and you're just trying to waste years on it, then obviously that's not a great thing as well. But if you really truly think, you have done your research, you have collected data, and you truly think that it's a great idea and it's the best one you had came up with, then you should stick with it, Um, okay, so yeah, idea and testing and execution. That's all about the things. All these three things. So execution matters a lot. Execution matters more than the idea. Uh, just as I gave an example that if even if your idea is great but your execution isn't, it's going to fail. Fourth thing is money. I haven't mentioned it. I forgot to do so. I'm sorry about that. But yeah, let's talk about money. Do you need it? How much do you need it? Okay. So the only correlation I have experienced in my 5 years of experience is that the more money you have, the better, the more you can spend on your marketing. And the whole process of things will be faster, and that's it. If you think that okay, you cannot build a company just because you don't have much money, that's stupid. Like, trust me, that's stupid. There's always someday, you know there's always someday. I'll just give us like a really superb example. So everybody knows about Airbnb. It's a really good company. Just search about them if you don't know. It's an app where you can, people can rent some rooms in their own home, so they can, earn an extra income. It's like a hotel, but it's much cheaper than actually a hotel. So when I'm going to Switzerland, let's say, I'll actually just do an Airbnb because it's much cheaper to stay in some stranger's home than to stay in a hotel. Anyways, the point is, so they did not had much money. They did not had money to hire software engineers. They did not had money to, to continue the operation. So what they did was, these these cereals you have that put on milk in it and then you eat it, right? Like mostly kids eat it, maybe teenagers as well. It's like something that people in the West eat a lot as well, and maybe in Pakistan, India as well. But people in the West are like super crazy about it. So what they did was they ordered some cereals and they try to make it a special version of that cereal. So they bought a toy, they bought a cereal, some random cereal. They combined these two things. They said it's a special version, and they sold it at around 30 to 40% more price. Right now, this does not seems like a great idea, and it does not need to others or to people who have a different mindset, but they knew that there is a market for cereals. So they did that and they created this special version of that cereal and they sold it. And they sold over like 50,000 cereals like that at 30 to 40% more margin, like more profit. So they got the initial funding out of that. So even if you have to go onto ways that are not directly related to your idea for funding, that's completely fine. But you have to realize that you do not need $1 million in your bank or even $10,000 or even $1,000. When we started NoFly, we have like $300, like all combined, all five people. And it's around 8 months and we have been running over that. We have a community of over 150 people, around 150 people right now, and thousands of people know us. And we are launching next month. It's less money means it's going to take much more time. You might have to learn a lot of things. You might have to do things on the side. It's going to take much more effort, but it definitely doesn't mean that you cannot start your own company because you don't have much money. So that's the fourth thing. I'll just go over things quickly because I'm already being too late and I'm speaking too much. Anyways, important things to remember: your idea, yourself, your personality does not need to be perfect. People, when they think about uh entrepreneurs, they think of people who are like super good, who have a very strict routine, who have a very healthy diet, who are very healthy, who are studying in top universities, who are academically really good. Please no, you do not need to be perfect, neither does your idea need to be perfect. When we started NoFly and we think about the idea we actually discussed in the first meeting, it was really bad. It was so incomplete, that we can't even tell you. And it was like okay, okay, let's just do this. We will figure things out on the way. So you actually do get to figure things out in the process. We got to research about so many other things in the last 8 months. We learned so many new things. We perfected our idea more and more and more in the last 8 months, and we are going to do it always. Like, even in next year, it's going to be much more better than it is right now. And when we look back at ourselves, we will feel embarrassed. So yeah. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah. So nobody needs to be perfect, neither the idea nor you yourself. Second thing is trust your people. Uh, when you are having co-founders, you really need to trust them because the first few months are going to suck a lot. When we started NoFly, I remember I had to trust so much because, for Laiba, Javeria, and for Nermi, everything was totally new for them, right? They had not been in a startup before. They had not held such big responsibilities before, and things were messing up. I'm not going to lie, things were messing up, but I allowed things to get messed up because, uh, it's just because like you have to, give them space, some time. You have to trust them that they will get better with time. And they did. They are now super excellent, and they do things that are much better than I could do now. Uh, like they learned so many things, and like they are like superb now. So you have to trust your people at the starting. Just think of it like, if you want to go really fast, but for like short amount of time, you should always go alone. But if you want to go really far, always have other people with you. Okay, so yeah, trust people. That's like really hard, I know, in this era, but you need to trust people. Okay, anyways, third thing is network as much as you can. Okay, I'll discuss more about this in the next point. I won't waste time on it right now, but yeah, just let's go to the next point, which is just focus on providing value and listening to users. Okay. People think marketing and you need to run ads on Facebook, you need to run ads on Instagram, you need to do this, you need to have this whole banner like a 200 feet banner in a building. You have to rent Burj Khalifas, you have to rent that screen on Burj Khalifa for marketing and all that stuff. Please do not think like that whenever you are starting a company. Just provide value to people. What I mean the value is this whole insider community. If you really think about it, what it is, we are just providing value. We figured out, okay, there's a lack of this specific thing that nobody is doing. No, there's no community which does live workshops, live courses, live competitions, have this whole sense of community that brings people from all over the world, and all of them are just students. We realized that we did not have this good community, right? And we were like, okay, we will do it for free and we will just provide value to people. So yeah, we created this community. We are holding workshop from the last 2 to 3 months every week. We are doing so many more things, and we are just providing value to people. And what do we get in return? Uh, we just get your trust. You guys know us. We guys know you. You guys know that Asher is not a scam. Knowfly is not a scam. It's not a new company. You guys know us. You guys would, discuss about it with your friends, and they would know us. Then they might discuss it with their friends, and just like, okay, there are 150 people in the insider community, and that's a very small number. But if you think about it, that people are putting stories on their Instagram account about us, on their LinkedIn accounts, it actually gets to thousands of people really really quickly, and thousands of people know Fly really well now. Before that, nobody knew us, right? And I have been noticing that so many people now ask us, what is Snowfly? What are you guys building? And 8 months before, nobody was even, interested at all. So just provide value to people for free in the starting if you want to do, consistent true marketing. And people will actually love you. And it's like it's a fair game. Like you are actually putting in day and night of efforts for somebody, and you are getting trust of them in return. So yeah, um, there you go. That's the first thing you can do in for marketing. Okay, now you do not need to build your own community for marketing. You do not need to build another insider community. There are many ways of providing free value to people and getting trust from people. One way is to build a YouTube channel. You can just build a YouTube channel like Irfan Junejo or like Ali Abdal and all these people. They have built their startups out of YouTube channels. They people got to know them, people got to enjoy their content. They now trust them, and yeah, you get value from them and they get trust from you, and then things goes on from there. Second thing is listening to users. Please, if if you will just live in your own delusion, always that, okay, I know what I'm going to do, I know what I'm doing. You're going to really suck at it. You have to listen consistently and a lot from your users. You have to truly take feedback, and when it's negative, you have to be sorry, apologize to them, and truly, work towards getting better. So yeah, tips for student entrepreneurship. I'll just go over it really quickly. Do not ruin your studies. If you are a student in a university or in a A levels college or in any high school, please don't sacrifice your studies. If you wanna, if you are like in a university or a college, don't drop out. Dropping out without any proper success, already having proper success is so stupid. People give examples of Bill Gates and Mark Zuckerberg, but what they did was they actually took a temporary leave of studies. They told their college or their university that, okay, we have this really great idea and we want 1 year to test things out. And can we have that 1 year? And most universities do give it. You can get a gap year. If you are in high school, you can obviously get a gap year as well. But yeah, so get a gap year, try things out, see if they work out. If they do, that's good. If they don't, it's okay. You at least tried. You can get back to your studies and look for another idea. So don't ruin your studies. I see people ruining their studies just because they are trying to do a business and they're like, oh, there's nothing in studying. It's all about doing business, and you will become Bill Gates out of it. Learn from Bill Gates. That's really stupid. Nobody, it's like totally fake. Do not listen to these people. Uh, yeah. There's again, I'll just give you this fact that less than 1% of the startups actually get successful. Getting successful by getting a degree is much more like, if you look at the data, it's like much more better. Anyways, so join as many societies as possible. Now, this is what I've been talking about here. Network as much as you can. So when you do networking, when you have a lot of people know you and you know a lot of people, you get to actually market your company really well. So when I was in college and I started this society, just because a lot of people knew me, I quickly made that club or that society the biggest one in my whole college. So please always join as many societies and participate as much as you can in them, and truly build friendships. You do not need to uh, give your life for them. You just need to have a meaningful relationship with them. So yeah, and why join societies at all? Aren't they waste of time? No, they are actually the best way to actually network with people. When you are in your classroom, you get assigned with some people to do a group project. Okay, they are with you for some months and then they are gone. When you join a society, those people will actually stay for years, and you are actually doing something with them that you guys are both interested about outside of your studies. So you guys have the same personal interest. So yeah, you will make friends in societies. Please do join it, and do not lots of networking. Uh, Now the last point that's about this thing is the whole thing, building a company, or joining a society and networking and all that stuff. But what most people do is they do it before they even build their own personal brand, and that's the worst thing you can do. First, you need to become something on your own. When I started my own journey, I had put like over 5 years in becoming something on my own. I learned so many skills. I did some jobs here and there. I I made friends and I provided them service for free. Like did some graphic designing for them, did some video editing for them. So you need to build your personal brand first. I used to post a lot on my social media, and I used to show off a lot of work on my social media, and a lot of people got to know me. So always build your personal brand first. Once you have some sort of personal brand, then people will actually be like interested in even networking with you. It's like, just going into this billionaires club, and you are just, a university student, and there are like all these people like um, Bill Gates and Tim Cook, and everybody's there, right? Would they actually, be your friend or have a meaningful relationship with you if you are yourself, you are nothing? No, they won't. They would just talk to you. They will be nice to you, and that's it. And you do not just want that, right? So, be something good on your own first, and then try to do networking. So yeah, build your own personal brand first. Another explanation for this is, even if you are like son of Bill Gates, and you have such great networks, like, right? You are the son of Bill Gates, but if you do not have any skill at all, there's no point of being the son of Bill Gates even. Like, what will you doing? Like, what will you even do, right? Uh, you cannot provide any sort of value to anybody. But if you know some skill, if you have some personal brand, then yeah, you can provide some value, and you can actually utilize your network. So yeah. Okay, now boring talk is finished. I'll just talk about some movies I really recommend watching. It's not movies actually, it's some TV series as well. I watched them before, like an year ago, and they are the best ones I could find. So first one that I really recommend watching is a TV series called Super Pumped. Uh, it's like 7, 8 episodes. That's it, and it's about it's the story of Uber. You guys have used it, right? Uber. So please watch it. It's like really, really good. You will have so much idea about entrepreneurship as a whole. You'll learn more up from it than this workshop even. So yeah. Second thing is, watch this movie called The Founder. It's on the founder of McDonald's, and it's really good as well. You learn how people play politics in startup world as well, and what mistakes are you shouldn't make. The third thing is a TV series again. It's called Undercover Billionaire. I'll just recommend season 1 of it because I haven't watched season 2. It's about how this billionaire, goes undercover and gets to start a business from scratch. He just has some like really little amount of money, and he flip things up. He makes money from them, and build a $1 million business out of nothing, literally nothing, no connections even. Just watch it. It's like really, really good. Just these three things. If you guys have any suggestions, please drop it down in the chat. And yeah, it's Q&A time. My whole workshop is done. That's all I had to speak. I'll just read your chat. If you have any questions, please drop down below, and I'll just, and let's see what questions we have. And then we will end the session in 5 to 10 minutes. I'm so sorry for, we are already 10 minutes over the time. I'm so sorry, guys. But I hope you learned a lot in this workshop. Okay, so let's go. Okay, by the way, this thing right now have been just the theory part, right? We will be actually releasing some mini projects, or you can say some practical projects, so you guys can experience entrepreneurship practically as well. So don't worry about it. It's not going to be just theory. That's the great thing about, having a community. Okay. Okay, yeah, this great question that Saeed asked. I heard that it is necessary, if you start the business, you must do job in that particular field before the business. Okay, so yeah, that's true. That's actually true, because when you do the job, you actually get to learn what what how you can make this whole process of things in that field better. Only then, if you have experience in some certain field, only then you can actually make things better, right? If I do not have any experience with, let's say, finances and I just build a startup, it's like it doesn't make sense. So either gain experience to volunteering or some sort of job and then actually start a business. And that's true. Like startup, building a company or a startup without having like really good experience in that field is really, really, really bad. Do not do this, please. Okay, Liba. Damn, bro. People really talk about this. Salam alaikum. Walaikum assalam, Huzafa. Love you, broski. So happy to see you. Happy to Pale. Please, Liba, do not ever put these sort of comments again. The thing is, if a person wants to start something, they need to take some sort of research on it. Yeah, Ariba, this comment of Ariba is really good. Uh, mm, okay. Yeah, so buying is yes. Okay, so those people who came to see my beautiful face, I'm sorry. I'll try to open video next time. It's like just I have just came back to Karachi and I haven't really adjusted to the climate or the weather here. And my room doesn't have a AC even, and my just next to my room uh like there's a lot of heat coming up because um I I don't know, there's just some heat coming up because of kitchen and stuff. So it's like I'm sweating like hell. In my opinion, need both kinds of people in your life, people that tell you it all in unbiased manner, as well as people that will motivate you. Yeah, that's totally right. But when you are collecting data, you want it to be as unbiased as possible. Because if people will just motivate you for a bad idea, then you are going to waste a lot of years of your life on it. No flight trip to Switzerland when? Lol. There's always room for improvement. Okay. Uh, I got asked if this was a pyramid scheme. Yeah, honestly, guys, recently I have got to hear a lot that people actually do not believe that insider community is a scam or what. Like so many people have reached out to me saying that their friends think or their sibling think that Knowfly community is a scam and these people are going to do something bad and all that stuff. It's too good to be true. I heard that it is necessary do not talk to people who talk like this. Aman, whatever business you have, please tell me. I'll give a shout out on it in the insider community. We would love to support you guys. Please. I personally was the vice president, subsequently the president of my school in O levels. It gives you some really, yeah, exactly. You need to either have some sort of voluntary experience, like being participating as a leader in some society. So yeah, Breaking Bad, in my opinion, no, it's no. We do not want to teach people how to do illegal things. Um, Silicon Valley, it's exaggerated, but it's fun. We want moon design. Bro chose the absolute wrong timing. Okay, I think most people are just joking and they do not. Okay, how has the recent inflammation? Oh, okay, this one is really good. This question is really good. How has the recent inflation affected you when it comes to running no flat? Okay, so this is a really interesting story. So we had some savings of around you can say 1 lakh rupees, right? 1 lakh Pakistani rupees. And we were like, okay, it was like around a year ago, the dollar at that time was quite low compared to right now. And we were like, okay, we can afford to operate a company for a year, right? And then the dollar dropped, like the dollar like increased so much that that amount actually became half in dollars. And because of that, the plan we had that okay, we are going to operate our company for a year, it actually got reduced to 6 months. And now we have to focus on making money. Because of that, we will take some actions in upcoming months. Yeah, we'll see. But yeah, we had thought we would just provide value to people for free for the first whole year. But yeah, things are bad because of the inflation. Other than that, yeah, obviously it's harder to earn money to convince people to join our products in Pakistan because people are already struggling with things with their personal expenses. Why will they invest into us? Yeah, or in our app. I think there is no wrong in a pyramid scheme. Guys, what are you even talking about? That's why you went broke because of servers. Yeah, actually yes, because of server and Zoom. So it's like we have to pay for it in dollars, right, in USD. But our savings were in Pakistani rupees, so it got really messed up. Um, yeah. Okay, so thank you so much, guys, for asking all your questions. If you have anything more to say, please let me know. Exactly, it's all about dollars. Ali. Okay, thank you so much, guys, for attending and for listening to me for over an hour. If you have anything to ask further, you can message on the group chat. And yeah, I'll just end now. Thank you so much. Also, we will give certificates for this.